morning. Namaste. Happy Shankranti to all of you on this wonderful auspicious festival day. As we begin our 8th session in this Breath by Breath program being presented by Pyramid Valley International. So we've been practicing this breathfulness routine for the last 7 days. Some of you have been practicing Anapanasati meditation. Now, volume okay? Audio okay? All right. So we've been practicing, some of you have been practicing Anapanasati meditation for a long time. So what we've done is we've given the breathfulness as a relaxation method. I hope it's working out for everybody. And along the lines, we've learned quite a bit about breath and breathing. And we've been looking through Anapanasati meditation, the Anapanasati sutras. Today we will cover things about the mind. So before that, the foundation for all this breath, body, mind, and wisdom is this concept or this thing in yogic science they call as panchakoshas. Right? Some of you might have heard about it. So we are 5-layer beings. We are 5-layer beings. We are a physical body. We are an energy body or an energy layer. We have a mental body or a mental layer. And then we have a wisdom body or a wisdom sheath. And then we are a bliss body. So these 5 layers surround the consciousness, who we are. As you know, we are not the physical body. We are not our emotions. We are not our thoughts. But we are that combination of energy, consciousness, and wisdom. Again, one of the core teachings of Patriji and the PSSM. We are not the physical body. We are not the emotions. We are not the mind. We are compositions of energy, wisdom, and consciousness. So the physical body is called the Annamaya Kosha. It's basically anything that you see material, the muscles, the bones, the flesh, the tissues, your blood circulating within you. So that is the Annamaya Kosha. The second sheath or layer is Pranamaya Kosha, and that is what is very relevant to the breath by breath that we are doing. It nourishes itself on prana, and it's an elaborate system of 72,000 nadis and chakras. So we'll have an expert coming in on Monday to talk more about that. The third layer or sheath is the mental body, and that is where mind, thoughts, emotions, something that we've been talking about will come. It's all part of it. So these 3 layers are something that always keep us from being with our wisdom and bliss bodies. So the 4th layer is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnan is Vishesh Jnan. It's not the jnan that we accumulate or get from people, right? So it's basically the jnan that we have, that we experience. That is Vijnan. Vijnanamaya Kosha. And the last Kosha is the Anandamaya Kosha. So we are that bliss body, we are that consciousness. And in states of deep meditation, we touch that core. That is when we are in that thought-free, blissful state. Right? And then all of yogic sciences cover some of those, each of those at different times. So as we continue to do our breath work, so what we are doing is we are relaxing our body first, and then we are regulating our prana in our body, and then automatically the pranamaya kosha, or the breath, is right in between the body, physical body, and the mental body. So it's kind of controls. You're able to control your physical body, which is the relaxation that we spoke about. The sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, everything it regulates. And it also regulates your mind, your mental body. That is why you feel calm. That is why you feel a sense of relaxation as soon as you do a breath work or meditation, right? And once these are subdued, then automatically you access the wisdom, the intelligence in each one of us. So that is the core philosophy of yogic science. So my dear friends, today we will get into our usual 40-minute breathfulness routine. As you all know, we will go through a 7 minutes of coherent breathing. You can start with lower counts, and if some of you have already practiced, you can get to the 4 counts or 5 counts. And then we will ease on to our breathfulness meditation, breath mindfulness meditation, Anapanasati, and then we'll end with the 2 to 3 minutes of gratitude. And then we will listen a bit more about our mind. And that is what is the third tetrad of Anapanasati Sutra. It talks about the mind. All right. So with that, I don't know if the team is up for them to play music. So let me see what I can do. But nevertheless, let's continue with the meditation. All right. So please get into a comfortable, relaxed posture. Remove your spectacles. Sit in a erect posture without any stiffness. Sthira Sukha Asanam. That is what Yoga Sutras talk about, the posture that we need to adopt. Sthiram is still. We are still but comfortable. Sukha. So no rigidity anywhere. Relax your shoulders, relax your back, maintain the curvature in your back with your head on top of your body, straight aligned with your back. Slowly bring your attention to your nostrils. Start feeling the breath. Slowly get into the coherent breathing. Coherent breathing is a combination of equal breathing and abdominal breathing. So as you inhale, count till 3, and then you can count to 4. Slow, long breathing. Inhale, count in your mind. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Don't hold anything in your chest. Just observe your abdomen going up and down as you inhale and exhale. No force, no holding the breath. The idea here is you are completely conscious of your long inhale and exhale. Be with your comfortable rhythm. This activates our relaxation response. Relaxes our body, calms our mind. Slowly, and increase your count. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you feel just your tummy going up and down, then you're breathing comfortably. If you're forcing your chest to move, then that is not the right breathing. Continue with your equal abdominal breathing. Now, with that state of relaxation, slowly ease into your normal, natural breathing, my dear friends. It doesn't need to be abrupt. You can slowly let go of your slow breathing and return to your normal breathing. Follow the natural breath cycle. Just follow your natural breathing cycle. As you feel the air going through our nose, feel it flowing through your lungs, feel the movements in your chest and stomach. And as you exhale, feel the movements in your stomach and chest. Feel the sensations in your throat area and in your nose as you exhale. This is following your breath. Experience your whole breathing. Your natural breathing. Being conscious of your breath. Keeps you with the relaxed, healing side of your body. If you are getting any thoughts, any analysis, just observe, let go, and return to your normal breathing. That's the nature of mind. For the next half an hour, just be with your breath, be with yourself. Everything else will wait. Wonderful. Continue to be with your breath, my dear friends. Breath is prana. It nourishes your physical body, regulates your energy body, and calms your mental body. Just by being with the breath, being conscious of the breath, we can control our body, mind, and energy. As we've been learning about Anapanasati, the science behind Anapanasati, we know just being with the breath teaches us a lot of things. Patriji says, breath is your guru. Just be with your normal breath, no thoughts, no analysis. Enjoy the experience of your whole breath. Engage with your breath completely, my dear friends. As you continue to stay anchored with your breath, slowly expand your awareness to your entire body. Feel the relaxation across your body. Feel any sensations due to your breathing. The nadis of the energy body flow across from the head to toe. Feel the relaxation across your body as you gently breathe to your natural rhythm. Wonderful. Enjoy the experience of your whole body breathing. Be conscious of your posture. Be conscious of your breathing. Ten more minutes, my dear friends. Wonderful, my dear friends. Continue to be with your joyful, whole breath. Relax and be with your breathing. Thoughts can come and go. Everything else can wait. Your meditation is being enhanced through the group energies as well. So please make use of the group energies at this time. Do not entertain thoughts. Just be with your breath, my dear friends. Stay with your breath 5 more minutes. Being with the breath calms your body, empties your mind, and regulates your energy. Just feel the joy of being with your breath. Now, my dear friends, let us move into the appreciation stage. Slowly move your attention to your heart region. Imagine you are breathing through your heart. Feel the emotion and kindness and gratitude from the center of your heart. Express gratitude to your wonderful experience of today's meditation and the efforts you are making. Now, with that feeling of gratitude in your heart, think about 3 things that you feel grateful for since yesterday. Bring the person or situation into your memory and express thank you. Say thank you in your mind to that person or situation. Anything that we are thankful for grows. This is the law of abundance. Now, feel grateful to the universe, nature, your family, your friends, and all our fellow beings. With the relaxed body, with that calmer mind, and with that feeling of gratitude in our heart, I will slowly relax and ease out of our meditation. Become aware of your body, your surroundings. the room you are in. Feel your fingers and slowly unclasp your fingers and place them on your eyes for a few seconds. You can open your eyes when you are ready. Wonderful. Hope it was a relaxing, energizing meditation, my dear friends. Thank you. We will cover the topic on the third tetrad on the mind, and then we'll get into Q&A, my dear friends. So we've been seeing how breath mindfulness or anapanasati. Okay, that's my helps regulate or relax our body, helps move our energy body with feelings. Yesterday and day before, we spoke about feelings, how to be mindful of feelings. And today we want to look at how just being with our breath also helps us manage our emotions, manage our thoughts. Let me get the sharing going. Okay. So the third tetrad or third set of 4 sutras in Anapanasati talks about how breathing, just by conscious breathing, manages the mind. Right? It says you're mindful of breathing. As you breathe in, you're aware of your mind. And then as you continue to get into the deeper states of meditation, you'll feel a sense of joy in your mind. You'll feel a sense of concentration, deep concentration that is steadying the mind. And then you'll slowly start learning things about how do you let go of the thoughts, let go of the emotions, let go of the feelings, right? So for that, let's understand a bit more about our mind. So these are our mental processes, right? So yesterday we spoke about a bit, and there was a bit of some of the questions as well. So there are different literature uses different terminologies across feelings, emotions, and sensations. So the purpose of this discussion, let's look at sensations being the primary. Sensations are the pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral sensations. Yesterday we referred to that as feelings. So just to avoid confusion, those are the sensation, and just those give rise to the emotions or feelings. Emotions could be anything like anger, happiness, doubt, sadness, confusion, all that. And then that gives rise to some thoughts. Continuous thoughts for a long time shapes your attitude, and then continuous attitude for a longer time shapes your beliefs. So a lot of our beliefs comes from our reaction to events, reaction to our thoughts and emotions, and then our mind starts concocting all the stories, and then the stories in turn feed the entire loop, right? So this is brain in action, mind in action. This is what happens, and that's what Buddha said. If you're able to handle things at the emotions level, if you're able to handle things at the emotion level, the entire process, entire clouding of the mind doesn't happen. And how do you handle it? It is not by avoiding it. It is by living those emotions consciously. And how do we do that? That is through being mindful of it. Be breathing consciously and being mindful of it, right? So this is kind of the different functions of our mind. Some of you might have heard from yogic science literature. Our mind is 4 parts, right? Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, and Chitta. So this is an English version of it. The manas is the sensory mind, the senses. The intellect or the buddhi is the thinking and emotional mind that adds meaning to a lot of things. And again, that is not always right. For example, looking at an animal, looking at a dog, say, one person's buddhi might add the emotion of fear to that particular mind. Another person's buddhi or intellect might add the feeling of love to that particular mind. So the thinking and emotional mind discerns that particular animal to be a dog. Some people might have a lot more knowledge about what types of dogs, so they'll feel that some people might react with fear, some people might react with love, some people might react with analysis on what kind of dog, what can it do and what it cannot do, right? So all that is from the intellect. And then the narrating mind, the ego self, the biggest part that gives us the sense of self is I know. Anything that has to do with I know, I feel this way, I feel that way is all about the ego self. And all these stories are stored in our chitta, which is the memory storehouse, the imprints, right? And then, like I mentioned yesterday, if you are not living that experience fully, the remnants of that experience get stored in the chitta. If you are anything to do with your cravings, anything to do with your fears, everything is stored in this chitta. And again, this chitta consists of impressions and imprints from your past lives, from your earlier part of this life. It continues to be there until it gets dissolved. And then the important point is you see the 2 layers, right? The top part is the conscious mind and the bottom part is subconscious. A lot of these things happen subconsciously. They get stored subconsciously. And then when you react without being conscious, you don't even have control about some of those fears coming out, right? And that is where what breathfulness and breathful meditation comes in, right? And as they say, all our actions, thoughts, words, we are conscious of it. It comes from our conscious mind only 10% of the time. 90% of the time they are subconscious. We don't have control on them normally, naturally. And through the processes of yogic practices and Zen practices, we are trying to expand the awareness, the time of us being conscious to a lot more so that we don't allow our subconscious to automatically express things, right? So that is where we are becoming more mindful, becoming more conscious. And that is how breathfulness meditation helps. So using the breathfulness practices, going deep into meditation allows you to expand the moments of consciousness, as they call. You're conscious for a lot more moments. You're able to observe, okay, this is how I need to react. And then it harmonizes your mind in terms of you'll not keep getting diverse thoughts. You don't get into that restless state. You don't keep getting those diverse thoughts for you to choose what to do. So it's a lot more calmer. Only the most appropriate thoughts and emotions come up and you know how to handle it. But the beauty of deep meditation with the breath, or we call it as mindfulness meditation or breathfulness meditation, is that these imprints get dissolved automatically as you get into deeper states of meditation. And that is what Buddha says, steadying the mind and liberating the mind, liberating with the mind. So they get dissolved, right? And that is what leads us to mindfulness. Like tomorrow, something that you are reacting to, let's assume that you have a person that you absolutely dislike. If you met that person a few months ago, your body would have reacted. You would have felt a sense of fear, sense of disgust. You would have felt, oh my God, I need to avoid that person, right? Whereas fast forward a few months into deep meditation, you wouldn't feel that feeling. You wouldn't immediately, right? So obviously your mind looks at that particular person, tags that particular person. That person probably caused you harm with some words earlier, but you're a lot more calmer. It's possible that you'll approach the person and talk meaningfully because that fear, that imprint, or that signature that you stored associated with that person is dissolved through meditation. through mindfulness, right? And Yoga Sutras talk about these primary emotions or kleshas that cause those agitation. So the imprints are pretty much the agitations and the waves, the vrittis. So there are five basic types of emotions that are bad, that cause all that imprints. Greed or desire, greed or unhandled desire, aversion, dislike, ignorance, confusion, fear, and ego. So fear and ego are more, derived emotions or derived kleshas from the first three. And how do you handle it? And that is where Buddha's teachings come in, Patriji's teachings come in. So it's about being aware. We spoke about it a lot yesterday, being aware of those and then diverting or focusing our non-judgmental attention on it. That is what is mindfulness. So mindfulness is nothing but having a strong awareness and absolute non-judgmental attention. And how are we developing mindfulness? We are doing that in this practice of 1 hour by practicing that with our breath. We are trying to focus our attention on our breathing. We are not trying to analyze the breathing. We are not trying to analyze anything that comes up. We're just being with our normal, natural breathing. And parallelly, we are aware of the thoughts that come in. We are aware of the distractions that come in. Slowly we develop. It's a skill that we practice like you practice a sport or an art. That's what we do for this 1 hour. The more you do, we start practicing more mindfulness, right? And this is for some of you might be wondering, there's a definition for mindfulness. So mindfulness is awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. Pretty much it's strong awareness plus non-judgmental attention. So we're all, there's this wonderful story that talks about how we keep looking for things outside, and we are deluded in what we know as wisdom, right? So but the fact is all the wisdom is inside us. And like Patriji says, there's no need to locate it's all about locating the problems inside, not outside. You can't control the outside, but we can control the inner, our response to whatever is happening outside. And that is what breathfulness meditation help us do. The kleshas, the 5 things that we talked about, greed, fear, anger, ego, ignorance, and aversion or dislike, always make us to look outward. What is that thing that makes me feel happy? And I want to avoid things that make me feel unhappy. I want to be with things that make me feel happy, right? So it always allows us to do that. But mindfulness makes us look inward. Mindfulness makes us look into our feelings, into our emotions. And again, it is not about avoiding those. It's about handling. The moment that you are aware of it, that itself solves half the problem. And awareness of ignorance. I mean, that is where all our education and everything, we always look outside. It's called outside in living. So the idea is we'll have to be living from the inside. And that is what all yogic and Buddhist literature talks about, right? And lastly, there is a way that mindfulness through meditation works. So some of you who've been through a lot of meditation sessions, including this one, will already know that it's allowing you to be a lot more responsive rather than reactive. That is level 1, because of the calming of your mind. Then as you continue to practice this rigor of calmness, getting into deep meditation, you will feel that you are able to relate a lot more in your life. You're able to exercise a lot more self-control. You're able to choose the right things, better communication, better relationships, better way of looking at things. And then as you saw in level 3 in deep meditation, there's a lot of cleansing that happens. It could be during meditation, it could be outside of meditation. Some of your fears vanish, some of your angst vanish, some of your dislikes vanish, some of your cravings vanish. and it reprograms the subconscious behavior. So that's the reprogramming or cleansing that happens automatically. All you need to do is just sit with your breath. And I've noticed it several times, and a lot of us have noticed what happens. And then in level 4, once that cleansing happens, you're really connected to your deep intelligence. You're connected to your wisdom. That is the Vijnanamaya Kosha we talked about. Once your body is healthy, your energy system functions fine, and your mind, you're able to be aware and mindful, then you get connected to your innate intelligence, your innate wisdom. And that is what is the goal of all yogic, Zen, Christian, Muslim, all philosophies absolutely talk about how you are God, you are intelligence. And we are just connecting back. That's what I mentioned about re-education. That we are just reconnecting back with our innate intelligence and awareness. And that's what we are trying to do through all these practices. So one last point I want to kind of end with a story is the way we accumulate those imprints and impressions, right? You can call it karmic impressions, you can call it imprints, and there's a whole set of concepts around it. So there's a Zen story about two student monks walking one early morning to their place of to their monastery or a place of practice. They're going to meet their master and do their practice. So they walk along the road and they need to cross a river. And as they approach the river, there was an old lady sitting right next to the bank. And she was asking these student monks, to help her cross the river. So one of the disciples said, "Oh no, we are ordained Buddhists. We are working towards becoming a monk. We are not supposed to touch women. So I'm sorry, we cannot really help you." Whereas the other monk, who's been a bit senior, so he looked at the lady, gently lifted the lady, walked across the river, and then left her on the other side of the bank. And then they continued their journey towards the master or towards the monastery. So all through the route, the first person was constantly kept on talking. "Oh my God, why did you do that? You're not supposed to touch women. The master will be unhappy. I don't know how you did it," right? And then they go reach the place of the master, and as soon as they see the master, the first one blurted out, "Oh master, this student did something really bad." And he narrated the incident. He lifted a woman, made her cross the river, and then dropped her. And he was so furious. He was expecting the master to be furious on why did you do it, right? But the master said, he left the woman, he left the lady right at the bank as soon as he crossed the river. But you've been carrying the lady all along, right? So that is what we do. We usually carry those impressions. It's not just up to us whether we let go of things when they happen or we want to carry the same memory across. And that memory is what gets imprinted in our consciousness. That is what is all those imprints. What mindfulness tells you is just observe, let go, so that you don't carry that, like the thought of that particular lady, a thought of someone doing something wrong. Again, all the rights and wrongs and corrects and incorrections is all our perceptions. So mindfulness makes you feel that feeling, completely conscious in that present moment, and then let go of it. So that's when craving reduces. That's when fear reduces. They're all mental constructs, right? So that is how the mind works. And then being with our breath, being with our mindfulness meditation allows us to be the same practice, allows us to take that mindfulness to anything that happens, like we discussed some of the examples yesterday. So that is the third tetrad of Anapanasati. So we spoke about how being mindful of the breath regulates our breathing, relaxes our body, heals our body. And then we learned about how being with our breath helps us manage our feelings and emotions. And now the third tetrad talks about just being with our breath, makes us be aware of our mind, right? So what are the thoughts? Why am I getting these thoughts? A lot more aware of what you need to focus your attention on. So with that, so that's one important. With that, we'll close the discussion on the third tetrad of Anapanasati. Tomorrow we'll focus on what happens through meditation. What is the science behind? How does it impact your body, mind, and consciousness through meditation? So we'll go into the science behind it, the neuroscience behind it.